I never thought my last night would begin so ordinary. A quiet campus, a paper due, and a stranger who smiled before the darkness came. If only I knew my car breaking down wasn't an accident. It was October 30th. The air smelled like autumn. I was a freshman at Riverdale City College, 18, full of plans, full of light. That evening, I told my dad I'd be at the library for a few hours. He smiled, said, "Don't stay too late." I didn't know that would be the last thing he'd ever say to me. The library lights flickered as I parked my little green car under a dim street lamp. I grabbed my books, waved at a couple of friends, and went inside. Everything felt normal, too normal. The quiet hum of the library, the sound of pens scratching, the distant ticking clock. But outside, someone was waiting. When I stepped out around 9:30, the air felt heavier. I remember walking toward my car, the parking lot nearly empty. I turned the key, click, click, nothing. "Seriously?" I muttered, trying again. Still nothing. I popped the hood, hoping it was something small. But I didn't see the truth. Someone had already been there. A man's voice came from behind me. "Need a hand?" he asked. His tone was calm, familiar. Maybe someone from campus. I smiled, politely. "Yeah, my car won't start." He looked under the hood, nodding like he knew what he was doing. But there was something off. His eyes didn't look curious. They looked hungry. He said, "Maybe there's a phone by the library. Come with me. I'll show you." And like a fool, I followed. The path behind the library was dark. No lights, no sound, just shadows. I hesitated. He stopped walking, turned slowly, and smiled. That's when everything changed. He grabbed me by the arm. I screamed, but the campus was too far, too empty. He shoved me hard, my books scattered across the walkway. I begged him to stop. He didn't listen. His knife caught the moonlight, cold, sharp, silent. He stabbed again and again. I tried to run, but my body stopped listening. Then nothing. The next morning, they found me lying by the walkway, my books still open beside me. My car was just a few yards away, untouched, waiting for a driver who would never return. Police searched everything. They found footprints, a man's watch, strands of hair, but not him. He had already disappeared into the crowd like he was never there. Days later, a letter arrived, typed, cruel, taunting. It described everything, like he was proud of what he'd done. Years passed. More letters appeared across the state. More murders. And some believed it was the same man, the one who smiled in the dark and called himself something else, the coded killer. My name was Clara James. I was 18. I went to the library to study and never came home.
You hear them too, don't you? The trees, they whisper. They've been whispering my name for years. I didn't want to become one of their stories, but that night, the pines saw everything. It was just another shift, midnight in the resort infirmary. I was tired, thinking about paint colors for my new place. I'd written my last note in the log, 1:50 a.m. One more patient check, one more heartbeat, then home. The hallway lights buzzed, flickered once. Someone was there. Shoes scraping the linoleum. Slow, deliberate. "You still working, nurse?" I didn't even look up. I thought it was a guest, drunk maybe. Then the light went out. I felt him behind me. The smell of metal, cold air, and cologne I'd smelled before. My throat closed. He said something I didn't catch. Then nothing. Just the sound of my pulse in my ears. Thump, thump, until everything slowed. When morning came, I didn't wake up in my bed. I didn't wake up anywhere. But someone called in for me, told them I had a family emergency. Calm voice, confident. He sounded like he'd practiced it. They believed him. My shift covered, my apartment left locked. And the world kept turning, like I'd just stepped out for air. You know what's worse than dying? It's being replaced by a phone call. Months later, they say a card came. Skeletons, blood drops. The words, "Peekaboo, you are doomed." They think it was a joke, a riddle. But I remember his whisper, the way he said boo, like it meant something to him. Then another postcard, cut out letters. Snow, pine trees, a map. Peek through the pines. He meant I'm still here, still watching. I wish they'd looked closer. I wish someone had followed the sound the wind makes when it moves through the branches, because that's where I am, right there. 50 years. That's how long it took for someone to find me. Not a body, just a skull in the dirt off an old highway. No answers, no justice, but the pines remembered. They kept whispering my story until someone finally listened. So, if you ever drive that road and the forest goes quiet, stop. Listen. That's me, trying to tell you that monsters don't vanish. They just learn to whisper too.
It's strange how quiet the ocean can be on the morning you die. The waves sound softer, almost gentle, like they're trying to warn you. I remember the smell of salt, sunscreen, the wind whispering through the dunes. That morning, I thought I was walking toward peace. I didn't know I was walking straight into my own ending. My name is Veronica Carlson. I came to Clearwater Bay to get away from everything. The city noise, the stress, the noise inside my head. I was 20, restless, curious. My cousin's little house sat high above the cliffs. Every morning, I'd watch sunlight crawl across the water like spilled gold. The town was small, too small. Everyone smiled, but not all the smiles felt real. Still, I loved it here. The sound of gulls, the taste of salt, the way you could walk for miles and never see another soul. If only I'd realized. That's what made it dangerous. October 11th, 1995, Wednesday. Sunlight slipped through the curtains and the air smelled like rain on dry earth. I grabbed my towel, my bag, and whispered, "Be back for lunch." My cousin didn't even stir. The sand was cool under my feet. The sea shimmered like glass. A few people were there. A couple walking their dog, 2 fishermen, and a man jogging near the dunes. I spread my towel, closed my eyes. It was perfect. Too perfect. You know that feeling when someone's watching you? It's not your imagination. It's instinct. I opened my eyes. Far down the beach, the jogger had stopped. He wasn't stretching. He was just standing there, looking right at me. I told myself it was nothing, just a man out for a run. But the longer I stayed, the heavier his stare felt. I turned over, pretending to read. When I looked again, he was gone. Only footprints leading into the dunes. That should have been the moment I left. I gathered my things, The air felt different, heavier somehow. As I reached the dunes, I saw it. A silver station wagon. Engine off. Windows tinted. Something moved inside. Just ahead, turning slightly. Watching me. I told myself it was nothing. Just another beachgoer. I kept walking. Then I heard it. Footsteps. Slow. Measured. Following me. I turned. He was closer than I thought. Tall. Tanned. That same jogger. Quieter. Near a whisper. He was holding something. Hey! I called out. Did you need something? He didn't answer. He just smiled. That smile didn't belong on a stranger's face. I took a step back. Then I ran. Sand under my feet. Heavy. Soft. The sound of him behind me. Louder. Faster. I looked toward the fisherman. Gone. No one there. Just me and him and the sea. The first hit wasn't a punch. It was wood. Hard. Across my face. I fell. Sand in my mouth. The taste of iron. Blood. I screamed. The wind swallowed it whole. I grabbed something. Driftwood. Swung it hard. He stumbled. I ran, but he caught me, pulled me down, and then the knife. Once, twice, again. The world turned red, then white. Sand, salt, blood, all mixed together. I tried to crawl, tried to reach the water. He followed. Every wave that touched me felt colder than the last. Then nothing. No sound, no wind, just the sea licking at my feet. He stood over me, breathing heavy. Then he turned and walked away. I watched his footprints vanish into the dunes, toward that silver car. Door open. The tide was coming in. I thought someone would see me. Someone always does, but no one came. As the water rose around me, I thought about home, about my cousin still asleep, about my mother waiting for a call that would never come. I thought about the ocean, how peaceful it looked when I first arrived, and then I understood how cruel peace can be. Decades later, they're still searching, still digging through evidence, still chasing shadows. They say they found new leads, a car, a name, a face, but here's what they don't know. He never left Clearwater. He still drives those coastal roads at night, still walks that beach when it's empty, still watches the sea, like it's hiding something that belongs to him, and maybe it is. They call me Veronica Carlson now, but once I was just a girl looking for peace. If you walk Clearwater Beach at dawn, you might still hear me in the waves, whispering his name.
Stay spooked. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more chilling stories.